Hello. The Counseling Department would like to welcome you to the Freshman and Sophomore College Information Night. My name is Misty Chapman, and I'm the counselor for last names P through Z. Also in the Counseling Department, we have Mrs. Nisby, who counsels last names A through GO, Mrs. Davenport, who counsels last names GR through O, and Mrs. Giannini, the Financial Aid and Scholarship Counselor. Tonight we will offer you important information that will assist you and your child as you begin the process of preparing for college. During freshman and sophomore years, students are striving towards graduation and college requirements, as well as exploring their interests and researching careers. The old saying, freshman year doesn't count, is a myth. Now more than ever, it's important to stay on top of college planning at the beginning of high school. First, though, let's review St. Mary's graduation requirements. In order to receive a diploma from St. Mary's High School, a student must pass and receive credits in the following courses. Passing grades are considered D- or higher. Students typically take 70 credits per school year, and the minimum number of credits needed at the time of graduation is 255. Students take courses each school year in English, religion, and social studies. Most courses are worth 5 credits per semester. In math, science, world language, and fine arts, students take the required amount for graduation and then can opt to take additional courses in those subjects. These additional courses fall into the elective credits total needed for graduation. If you have any questions about your child's graduation status, please feel free to contact the appropriate counselor. I'd like to take some time to review options for students after high school graduation. Through the 2-year college path, students can begin their college education at a California community college. 2-year community colleges provide your child with a low-cost, close-to-home option. Students can enroll in career education programs that provide hands-on training for the workforce, or students can take college courses to earn an associate's degree that will provide the foundation to transfer to a 4-year university. There are abundance of options in the 4-year college system. CSUs, UCs, private and out-of-state colleges are all choices. The California State University and University of California are public university systems. They are affordable options for California residents, and campuses vary in size and programming. The private or out-of-state universities can vary in many ways, such as location, entrance requirements, and tuition are all major factors to consider. There are many benefits to attending a California community college after high school graduation. It's open to all high school graduates or 18-year-olds. It's a low-cost college option. As of today, many California community colleges are offering 1 to 2 years of free tuition. Community colleges offer the TAG program, Transfer Admissions Guarantee, to 6 UC campuses, as well as transfer path options to Cal State universities and private and out-of-state colleges. There are over 100 community colleges in California. If your student would still like that away-from-home college experience, they can enroll in any community college of their choice. Some campuses even offer dorm living. The California State University is a public university system. The minimum GPA to apply to a CSU is a 2.0. However, the higher the GPA, the better. Only grades of C- or higher in A through G courses will be accepted for admission. Mrs. Nisby will review A through G courses later in this presentation. There are no letters of recommendation or essays to write when applying to CSUs. As of today, CSUs are not requiring the SAT and ACT exams for admission due to COVID, and they have closed many testing centers. However, in the years to come, please be aware of the CSU's testing policy because it could change for your students. Your students will be applying for admission either fall of 2023 or fall of 2024. As you can see, this is a map of the 23 CSU campuses. Each school varies in size, location, and majors offered. There are multiple campuses to choose from in the Bay Area, Southern California, and of course, the Central Valley. The University of California, or UC system, is more competitive for admission than the CSU system. Minimum GPA required to apply to a UC is a 3.0, but again, the higher the better. It's common for average GPAs of students admitted to UC schools to be well within the 3.0 range, or even over 4.0. No grade lower than a C- in A through G courses is also required. So again, no grade lower than a C- in A through G courses is also required. The SAT and ACT exams are optional through 2024. This means students have the choice if they want to take the exams and share their scores with the UC system. Again, testing is optional through fall 2024. There are no letters of recommendation needed when students apply to the UC system, but short answer responses are required. These are called personal insight questions, and students can begin working on them the summer before senior year. Here is a map of 9 UC campuses. Similar to the CSU system, UC campuses are spread out across California and vary in size and programming. We encourage families to begin the process of exploring colleges now through virtual means. As you begin the research process, keep in mind the factors that are important to you and your family, such as the location of the university, the cost or tuition of attendance, campus size, activities that the school offers, and majors. Now I'd like to introduce Mrs. Nisby, who will review A through G class requirements.
Thank you, Mrs. Chapman. The CSU and UC A through G requirements. St. Mary's is a college prep high school, and our graduation requirements cover many categories of the A through G requirements. You will notice small differences in quantities in certain categories such as math and world language. CSUs and UCs require a minimum grade of a C- or higher. Many CSUs and UCs have become more competitive, so the higher the grades, the better. CSUs require a minimum GPA of a 2.0 in A through G courses in order to qualify to apply for their campuses, and UCs require a minimum GPA of a 3.0 in A through G courses in order to apply to their campuses. English requires 4 years. Math requires 3 years, including algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. U.S. history and/or government requires 1 year, and world history has a 1-year requirement. Lab sciences require 2 years, including bio, chemistry, or physics. Physical science would not count towards these 2 years typically, and it is highly recommended to take biology and chemistry for the 2-year requirement. World language requires 2 years of the same language. A student who took Spanish 1 their freshman year and switched to ASL 1 their sophomore year would only have 1 year of the requirement done in the eyes of the universities. So it is important to take the same language consecutively. And visual and performing arts require 1 year. Electives require 1 year, and this could be an extra year of math or science, or it can be fulfilled through yearbook, an extra fine art, computer science courses, or many of our other CSU and UC approved electives. Independent and private colleges and universities. Independent private colleges and universities have many of the same admissions requirements as the UC and CSU systems. They tend to follow the A through G requirements that the CSUs and UCs follow, but may have differences in categories such as math and science. Completion of the college preparatory coursework is expected. It is imperative that students take coursework above the graduation requirements to stay competitive in the application process. Each university has their own testing policy and may have shifted to test optional for the SAT and ACT. Check requirements for admission and specific coursework or testing for each college. Mrs. Davenport will discuss SCORE in more detail, but SCORE is a great tool for use for admissions requirements such as testing. College websites are recommended for specific course requirements. There are more than 75 private universities across California, and SCORE is a great filter tool to explore each campus. It even has virtual tours for select campuses. Reviewing your transcript. Your transcript is a legal document composed with your academic history. If you are deficient in credits and need to make up a course, please see your counselor as soon as possible. St. Mary's recognizes a grade of a D- or higher as passing for credits for a high school graduation. Courses used to satisfy the A through G requirements in which the student earns a D or F grade must be repeated with a grade of a C- or higher. The repeated grades are used in calculating the GPA. The lower grade is zeroed out in terms of credit, but both lower and higher grade will be on the transcript. Prior to enrolling in an off-campus and/or online course, students should consult with their counselor to ensure that credit will be given for the courses taken and how to understand how the course will impact their St. Mary's transcript. www.parchment.com is the website to request official transcripts, and students can sign up anytime and they don't need to wait until senior year. The PSAT and the PreACT. The PSAT includes evidence-based reading, writing, and math. Students who take the PSAT qualify for free SAT test prep. The best preparation for the SAT is the Khan Academy. The Khan Academy offers personalized SAT practice based off of the results from the PSAT. Students take the PSAT in freshman, sophomore, and junior years. It is a mandatory test date, and the score reports are emailed to students, so it's important for you to provide your email when taking the exam. Juniors qualify for the National Merit Scholarship upon completion of the PSAT this year. Juniors who score in the top 1% on the PSAT in the nation qualify for the National Merit Scholarship. There is then an application process to win the scholarship. Due to COVID, the PSAT is scheduled for January 26th, 2021. And the PreACT differs in the sense that it has a science category along with English, math, and reading. It allows students to identify their academic strengths and weaknesses, and it is a great prep for the ACT. The PreACT is scheduled for March 10th, 2021, but it is subject to change. And it is a mandatory test date for all freshmen through juniors. And thank you, and here is Mrs. Davenport.
Thank you, Mrs. Nisby. As part of the ongoing college research process, we are proud to use the SCORE platform. This comprehensive program allows us to interface with students throughout every stage of the application process. Among its many features includes a robust college search engine that can be narrow or as specific as you want, with things like majors, location, and size as parameters. It also includes an individual student profile with embedded GPA and testing. This is helpful when students are opting to determine which schools are reach, which are target, and which are likely. An activities and awards section, which is essentially a holding bin for resume development over the course of the 4 years. A college list management tool that counselors can view. And finally, a parent and family access tool. Normally, on any given year, we would host upwards of 50 different institutions here on campus for specific presentations. Even with COVID, we are able to host institutions weekly through virtual visits. These are listed in SCORE under the calendar feature and weekly on Schoology. We encourage students to take advantage of this valuable opportunity. In most cases, the very people running these presentations are the people responsible for reading our St. Mary's applications. For those students opting to participate in intercollegiate athletics in college, you are encouraged to register for the NCAA Clearinghouse. This enables the clearinghouse to establish eligibility once a formal inquiry is initiated by a coach or institution, and it requires us to send transcripts twice a year, once in June and again in January. Please note that the athletic recruitment process mandates that students still apply directly through the university and be admitted. Sometimes students think that the process is done directly through conversations with coaching staff. And while that is part of it, a student still needs to receive a formal letter of admission from the Office of Admission before enrollment. So what can students do now to best plan for the competitive admission process? First, we encourage students to review their schedule and transcript. A transcript is considered a legal document, and as such, we do our best to make sure that it's accurate, but please get in the habit of routinely checking to make sure that everything is correct, including summer coursework. Keep a strong GPA. Your transcript is one of the central pieces to the admission process. Strong grades in competitive classes will be evaluated as part of this process. Competitive means different things for every student, but for the most selective institutions, taking coursework above and beyond the stated minimums, for example, 4 years of math or 4 years of science, allows you to be more competitive. Continue to meet with your St. Mary's counselor regularly. Access us with questions. We are always here to help clarify, provide insight into this process, and help advise you based on your individual preferences. Continue to get involved in school activities, whether it's clubs, sports, fine arts. Consistent involvement in activities that are enjoyable to you are important. Key here is depth and not breadth. So students can be involved in 1 or 2 things that are really meaningful to them, as opposed to 5 or 6 that are superficial. We encourage students and families to begin to attend college and career fairs. These are good opportunities to window shop and get lots of good information in a short time frame. Again, often the people who are working these fairs are the ones responsible for reading our application. These fairs will begin in earnest in spring, so keep an eye out in Schoology for announcements. Begin to tour college campuses, even virtually. Virtual tours are ongoing and available right now. Almost every institution is providing them, as well as virtual information sessions for interested families. Taking advantage of these, even from the comfort of your own couch, will begin to help shape what it is you want and don't want in college. And finally, we encourage everybody to take the PSAT and practice ACT tests. These opportunities to take practice tests is good exposure for the test format and will help you prepare for your eventual official testing in junior year. St. Mary's is fortunate to offer a lot of support services for our students. Among them are tutoring time during gold days, during RAM time. This is an opportunity to get clarification from faculty, seek individualized help, make up tests, etc. In addition, Mrs. Stevens, our librarian, is available to help assist students in English classes. She can help proofread essays, work on paper assignments with students, and provide feedback. We encourage students and families to routinely get in the habit of checking PowerSchool and Schoology for important information and to monitor grades. We also ask that parents stay tuned to important information that gets pushed out via email and Schoology. If need be, counselors are happy to meet with families via Zoom or in person. For our wellness support, we are pleased to offer the services of Dr. Mario Stark. Mario Stark is a licensed clinical social worker and is available to students and families on Wednesdays and Thursdays by appointment. These meetings are private and are designed to address the emotional and mental well-being of our student body. Dr. Stark's email is mstarc@stmaryshighschool.org. And finally, we are pleased to introduce Mrs. Jennifer Tress as our newly appointed resource coordinator. In this role, Mrs. Tress will work with students and families who may need formal accommodations and to help support their learning at St. Mary's. Also, she will be the point person moving forward for those students needing accommodations on national testing. And finally, continue to see your St. Mary's counselor regularly. We are always here and aim to support students at every step of the process. Finally, we encourage you to bookmark our page. You can find it on the main page under the Academics tab, and then hit Counseling. There you can find information on testing, score, NCAA clearinghouse, and writing the personal statement. This website is constantly being updated, so please avail yourself to this valuable resource. Finally, St. Mary's is blessed to have an extensive financial aid and scholarship program available to our families. Applications for St. Mary's scholarships are available December 1 and are due back to the scholarship office by February 1st. Information and applications can be found on the St. Mary's website under the Admissions tab, and then please hit Financial Aid and Scholarship. In addition, there are some specific scholarships that require supplemental essay questions. That information can be found outside Mrs. Giannini's office on the second floor of the Ligorio Administration Building. Students and families are encouraged to contact Mrs. Giannini or Mrs. Kilby at the emails listed on this slide for additional questions or clarification. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please don't hesitate to reach out to your student's counselor if you have any individual questions or concerns. Good night.